Hi everyone, I'm Catherine, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make these shark cupcakes. You can order your kit for this class at candylandcrafts.com. If you do order your kit for this class at Candyland, included in your kit, you will receive 6 cupcakes, silver fondant, white fondant, black fondant, red fondant, a thing of buttercream, a pastry bag, a small star tip, and a blue gel food coloring. Other things you will need for this class not included in your kit is some fondant tools to help you bake your shark fins and everything, but you don't absolutely need those. A small cookie cutter will help, but again, you don't need them. Using a paring knife, you can cut a circle and cut your shark fin out, and then a small dish of water just to help the fondant stick in case it doesn't stick to each other that well, and a rolling pin and some cornstarch or powdered sugar. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to do to get started is take out your silver fondant, and you're going to want to knead it until it's nice and smooth. Once you have your fondant all nice and smooth, you're going to want to put some cornstarch or powdered sugar down on your surface. This will help the fondant not stick to the table or your rolling pin. So you're going to roll out your fondant. You don't want to roll this too thin because we're going to cut circles and make our shark fins out of this. So you're just going to keep turning your fondant as you roll your rolling pin back and forth across it. I also recommend making your shark fins and your shark heads a day before so they can harden, because if you stick your shark fins in before they actually harden, they might tilt and fall over and not stand straight up and down out of the cupcake like you would look for. Now I'm going to take a 2-inch cookie cutter and cut circles out of my fondant. If you don't have a cookie cutter, that's totally fine. Using a paring knife or an X-Acto knife, you can just cut circles out of your fondant. If you don't want big shark fins, of course you can use a smaller circle, but I'm going to use the 2-inch. Once your circles are done, you're going to take that same cookie cutter and kind of cut like a moon shape out of it. So you're left with like a crescent moon. Again, if you don't have a cookie cutter, just use a paring knife or an X-Acto knife. And then now I'm going to just cut off the bottom part of our moon shape, so we're left with like a flat bottom, and you'll see how the shark fin points up. So also to give it more like of an edgy look of a shark, I'm gonna cut little triangles out of the top of the fin so it looks like battered and worn and the shark has been like through a fight. And then I'm just going to take my hand and kind of point the top up a little bit, like bend the little edge of the fin up, and then make sure you put some powdered sugar cornstarch down before you let your shark fin rest so it doesn't stick to whatever surface you are resting it on. Now we are going to make our shark head. So you're going to want to get just a small ball of your silver fondant. Just roll it in your hands. Make sure you are pushing kind of hard because you want to get all the creases and cracks out of the fondant the best you can. When you're done with that, you're going to kind of roll your fondant into like an oblong shape. Not perfectly round, and then you're just going to gently take your fingers and you're going to push in the top edge of your fondant oblong shape. This is going to be where we're going to put our shark mouth, so it's kind of like on a tilt. Just use your hands and the board or the table, wherever you're working on, to help shape it. And then I'm going to just gently like pinch the top of the fondant oblong for like the nose. Just keep smoothing out the part where I'm gonna put the shark's mouth, so you can see it's kind of gonna look like the shark head's coming up and his mouth is gonna be open. So you're just gonna kind of want to use your finger to make a flat surface. So using my fondant tool, you don't have to have one of these. You can use a paring knife, whatever you have, or a toothpick, and then I'm just going to gently start to push into the crease where I made a smiley face across the fondant shark, and then I'm going to just kind of open up that crease. So you can use your finger for this also. Just start gently pushing into the shark's mouth with your dressing tool, and then you're just gonna just open up that line you put across the shark's mouth. So it's gonna look like his mouth is open with teeth sticking out. So you're just going to keep playing with the mouth until you have it nice and wide opening. If your shark's bottom starts to get a little too fat or anything, you can just go back in with your fingers, just smush him back in, just play with the shape until you get a nice wide open mouth that you would be looking for. Now that your shark's mouth is done, you're going to take some of your white fondant and of course knead it until smooth, some cornstarch or powdered sugar down, and taking a rolling pin, you are going to roll out your white fondant. This is going to be like our shark's belly up to his nose. So you're going to roll it out, and then you're just going to kind of out a rectangle shape. It can be longer than the shark, shorter than shark. You can put the shark on top of the fondant so you have like an idea of how much to cut. You do want it to go a little bit above his head and a little bit below the bottom of the shark because the white is going to go into his mouth also. It's totally fine. If your fondant does not stick to your shark when you put it on, just add a little dab of water and it'll help stick. So now taking the rectangle shape I just cut out, I'm going to just lay it across the front part or the mouth part of where the shark is. And just using my fingers, I'm just going to gently stick the white fondant to the silver fondant, and then using your finger, or if you have the Dresden tool for the fondant, you can just gently push it inside the shark's mouth. Doesn't have to be perfect. If it breaks inside the mouth, that's okay. And then you're going to push it up to the top of your shark's nose. Any excess fondant that may hang over the sides, just gently using a paring knife or an X-Acto knife, you can trim off the edges. Do not push too hard through, otherwise you will cut through to the silver fondant and cut your shark's body. So just gently push it through, and then using your fingers, you're just going to gently mold it and shape it to the silver part of the shark's body. Now using your red fondant, the same way that you did with the white fondant, you're going to roll out a piece of your red fondant, small rectangle, small circle, whatever you want. And we are going to put that red rectangle or circle piece of fondant into our shark's mouth. You can use your finger for this or the Dresden tool. Again, if it doesn't stick, you can use a dab of water and help it stick. So you're just going to push this piece of red fondant inside of your shark's mouth. Don't worry about if the red fondant fits perfectly inside of the shark's mouth, because we are going to put teeth over it even if some is sticking out. So you're going to roll out some more white fondant. Once you roll out your white fondant, taking a paring knife or an X-Acto knife, being very careful, you're going to kind of roll out strips into the white fondant, and then you're going to cut out little triangles onto the bottom of that strip to look like little pointy shark teeth. Once you have your teeth done, you're going to just cut off the excess off the one side of the strip, and you're just going to attach the teeth to the top of part of the shark's mouth. Again, if it doesn't stick, a little dab of water will help it, and you're just going to push down on the top of the strip and the sides of the strips. You don't want to push down on the teeth. If your teeth do like bend in towards the shark's mouth, you can just gently pull them out, and then you're going to repeat the same process as the top teeth with your bottom teeth. Now to make your shark's eyes, you're going to take your black fondant, you're going to knead it, and then you're just going to take little pieces of the fondant and roll them into a ball. And then once you roll into the ball, you're going to stick them on the side of your shark head. We don't want pupils for these sharks. We don't want them to look cute. We want scary sharks. So they're just going to be black eyes on the sides of your shark head. So you're just going to gently push them onto the shark head. Again, if they don't stick, just a dab of water on the back to help them stick. Once you have your shark eyes on, you're going to take some more of your silver fondant and we're going to roll it into like a thin log. And then you're going to cut off 2 small pieces of that log. And these are going to go above the shark's eyeballs. It's going to kind of look like an angry eyebrow to give them more of like, you know, a mean shark look. So you're just going to gently push it on the top of the eyeball, and then you're going to do the same thing with the other eyeball. And for the final thing for our shark head cupcakes, you are just going to take some more of your silver fondant and you're going to roll it out the same way we rolled out the shark fins, and you're just going to cut triangles into the fondant. So I just start by cutting some squares, and then I would cut those squares in half, and those are going to be like the shark fins that stick out of the water with our shark head. Now to start decorating our cupcakes, I'm going to take our buttercream and I'm going to add the blue gel food coloring, 1 to 2 drops, and I'm going to mix it. I don't completely mix it because I do want some streaks of white throughout the buttercream to kind of give it more of the water look. If you want it completely mixed, non-mixed, less mixed, more mixed, whatever you want. This is totally up to you, your buttercream. Grabbing a glass as an extra hand, you're going to grab your pastry bag and you are going to grab your small star tip. So fold over the pastry bag, drop your tip into the pastry bag. This will give you a better idea of where to cut your pastry bag so you don't cut too big of a hole so your tip doesn't fly out. So you see where the tip kind of fits in the bag, and then you're going to cut just a small hole, push the tip through, and then you're going to put your pastry bag over the cup. This holds the pastry bag for you, so when you put your buttercream into the bag, you can use both your hands and scrape all the buttercream out. So you're going to put your buttercream into your pastry bag, and then after you do that, you're just going to fold the top over, twist it, and put it to the side. Now you're going to pipe on your cupcake. So holding your pastry bag straight up and down to your cupcake, you are going to keep pressure, squeeze, and then bring your pastry bag around in kind of a circle, and you're going to get these little small rosettes, and you're going to do this all around the outside of the cupcake. And then you're going to repeat that same process on the inside. So you're going to squeeze, keep pressure, and then bring your pastry around in a counterclockwise. So you're going to kind of get these like blue ocean waves piping. And then you're going to do the same on the inside of the cupcake. So keep pressure, squeeze, bring the bag around, and you're going to get little rosettis around your cupcake to kind of look like ocean waves. And then you're going to take your shark fin and you're going to stick it right in the center of that cupcake. And that is how you make your shark fin cupcakes. To do the shark head cupcakes, you're going to repeat the same process. You're going to do the little rosettes around the outside of the cupcake. So keeping pressure, squeeze counterclockwise, bring the bag around. So squeeze, keep pressure, and swirl. So you're going to do that all around the outside of the cupcake. After you finish the rosettes around the outside of the cupcake, you're going to take your shark head and you're going to stick it in the middle of those rosettes. And then you're going to take your pastry bag and kind of do little rosettes like we did the inside of the cupcake on the shark fin around the shark head, because we want it to kind of look like he's emerging from the water. So you don't just want to stick them right on top of the cupcake. So after you put the little rosettes around your shark head, you're going to take his little triangle shark fins and you're going to stick them right next to the side of his head in the water. So that is how you pipe your shark head cupcakes and your shark fin cupcakes. Thank you for making shark cupcakes with me today. I hope you had fun. If you have any questions at all, you can reach me on Instagram and Facebook at Pastry Mama. You can also reach out to Candyland Crafts. Please feel free to share any pictures of your creations. We would love to see them, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.